everyone, welcome to the Wives of India. I am Samaira.
I am Mithilesh.
And I am Vashisht.
And we are Wives of India Kids Reporters. Before we begin, I would like to introduce you to our two special guests. We have two doctors, which is Dr. Ishan, who is a cardiologist, and Dr. Kaivan, who is a gastrologist. Today we're going to be talking on veganism and how it affects our body. So before we begin, if you could please say a few words.
So I am Dr. Ishan Gohil. I am not a cardiologist, somewhat different from that. I am a cardiothoracic and vascular surgeon. I mainly deal with the diseases of hearts and the surgery related to hearts and the great vessel, that is aorta and all. And with me is?
My name is Dr. Kaivan Shah. I am also a gastrophysician. Yeah, physician, you are right. I am gastrophysician. So, and endoscopy specialist and hepatologist. And I do my practice in Paldi area. And yeah, of course, we deal with all kind of gastroenterological and liver related illnesses.
Okay.
We can start.
Thank you. So let's start with our first question. Our first question is, what is the difference between vegan food and normal food?
So the main difference between vegan and what we eat is vegetarian. Some of the guys eat non-vegetarian food also, but mainly we need to know the difference between vegan and vegetarian. The food related to the milk, that is lacto-vegetarian, ovo-vegetarian, eggs and all that is not included basically in the vegan food. So all the derivatives of milk are not included in the vegan food. It decreases substantially the amount of food which we eat. In non-veg, they eat the kebabs and all. In vegetarian, it comes to paneer. And in vegan, even paneer is not there. But there is option for each and everything in that. And sir will elaborate more on that.
So I think whatever he has said is right. So the food which is animal source is like non-animal source is a vegan food. You have to simply, you can say that the food which comes from animal source you avoid, then it becomes a vegan food. So you avoid paneer, you can avoid cheese, you avoid milk, even honey. So apart from all vegetarian food, if you remove all this food which are of plant animal origin, then it becomes a vegan food. Simple.
My question to you was, how does vegan food affect the body, or does it even affect the body,
So like you have to first understand that our body needs a good amount of protein, good amount of vitamins, good amount of calcium and everything. So in a vegetarian food we don't get much amount of calcium or let's say protein or all type of minerals. So if we take only vegan food, then our food will not have much amount of protein or vitamin B12. So it can affect your body, it can affect your metabolism, it can affect your muscles, but then you can supplement with it with the other food that we will talk, I guess.
What are the effects of plant-based diet and vegan diet in your body?
So vegan diet is essentially plant-based diet. You omit all the animal-based diet, as sir said. So it is essentially plant-based diet, and what we consider a whole food, which needs cereals, pulses, and which are the source of the proteins, carbohydrates, all the small amino acids and the micronutrients. Each and everything cannot be fulfilled by these vegan diets. So we need supplements, as sir said. So supplements are in 2-3 ways. Either we can take extra capsules or for that, or recently what is being publicized is fortified foods. It is quite a big supplement for the vegan foods. Iron is fortified, vitamin B12 is fortified, iodine is fortified. So by that we can get the source of the micronutrients which we need essentially in our body. In non-vegetarian things, the other essential minerals directly come from the non-veg things which we acquire. But in vegan food especially, we need those kind of fortified foods in some or the other way. Even the source of protein is not, if we consider per gram of the amount of food consumed, the amount of protein is much less in vegan food as compared to the non-vegetarian foods. So either we need to consume somewhat more amount of food, or we need additional supplements for that.
So as you had said, there are no dairy products there in vegan food. Could you just elaborate more on that? Why is dairy products considered bad in veganism?
So like when you talk about veganism, so there are 2-3 aspects of it. One aspect is your health aspect, and I guess we are talking about health aspect more. there is another is a ethical aspect of it. Some people believe that to make a vegan food you may have to kill animal, or you may have to non-vegan means other food apart from vegan, of non-vegetarian or other food, you have to just harm the animal, or you have to take milk from them. So that is an ethical issue first, that they are not affected by vegan food. So that is why the concept of vegan food actually came, to protect animals. And what is effect of that vegan food or milk on that health is also very important. Like if you do not consume milk, your question was dairy products effect on health, right? So if you do not, so dairy products are very important part for your body metabolism. If you do not take that dairy products in your diet, you will 100% will be deficient in vitamins and proteins, and it will affect your body badly. But at the opposite side, if you do not take them, if you take a more plant based food, you will have a better control of your sugars. You can have a slim body, you can reduce your weight. Of course, you can take those protein from other sources, plant based sources, it will be good for your body. So vegan food has a two aspects. One is a health aspect, it will improve your body weight, you can lose your weight, it will improve your sugars, improve your blood pressure, your gastric system will be better. With the vegan food, it will help you to digest good food, so it is easy to digest. On the other part, dairy food, it is very difficult to digest, it can produce more gas, more bloating, more acidity. In that way, vegan food is beneficial for health. Okay, so basically metabolism is whatever food we eat, like carbohydrates, proteins, or let us say your fat, everything goes inside your body, then it gets digested by your digestive juices, and then there is a metabolism. So that like your from your protein it gets to small amino acids, and then it gets converted to it gets transported to the cells. So that is the whole process is called metabolism. So every food gets processed in your body, and that is called as metabolism of each and everything.
Food to energy.
Food to energy, you can say.
Metabolism.
Yeah. So
So do you think non-vegan, or what is preferable to children, vegan or non-vegan?
So like you had said before, if there's sometimes there's bloating from dairy products. So should children take dairy products or
Not consume dairy products. What is preferable, vegan or non-vegan?
So see, it's not like that. It's not absolute. Like see, this concept is, you have to understand this as a concept. You have to have a good amount of protein in your body. Simple, right? Milk is a very good amount of protein, good amount of calcium, good amount of vitamins. So you can consume milk, but those who are having more symptoms with milk, like if you are drinking milk and you are having bloating, acidity, diarrhea, sometimes those with the lactose intolerance may have a diarrhea also, then those children or those people should try to be more on a vegan food.
So vegan is not like clearly black or white, is it
Exactly.
important or not? You cannot directly distinguish between yes or no. And more than that, what you coined the term veganism, it is not just related to food, it is a way of living. When it was invented, the word vegan in somewhat British era or something, it has a history behind that. You can read that on Google or something. So it came into existence just like it is a way of living in which we primarily don't tend to harm animals in any way. It doesn't mean कि आप दूध नहीं पीते उसके बाद वो पोलर बेयर से मरा हुआ फर वाला जैकेट पहन के घूम रहे हो.
Then it becomes non-vegan again.
So it is not just about food. Even the clothes you wear, fur, leather, etc. You go to zoos, you
Even
go
honey.
to everything. Each and everything related to the cruelty of animal, you are opposing that in a way.
That is vegan.
So that is vegan. It is not just related to food. And if you want that milk, then there are other sources of milk also, which a child can prefer. And those are fortified with different nutrients.
That
so
is
it can
soy
fulfill
milk
the
or
complete
almond milk.
Almond milk,
Soy milk.
Sir, I want to ask that where do you get calcium in vegan food?
So basically it is a plant based sources where you have a, so it is mostly a fortified food which you have to take. Otherwise the calcium, the main source is usually our dairy products. So whole grains or whole vegetables are whole grains are basically good source of calcium. you can take pulses also in some amount, they will give you good amount of protein, but then mainly if for a calcium they have to be more of a fortified food.
So to elaborate it, it is not just calcium. If you want to put veganism in a bad light, you can say that calcium is not being available in the vegan
food.
But no, it is not just calcium. It is calcium, iron, zinc, all the small micronutrients.
Iodine, selenium.
But everything is available in a fortified form. As a vegan person can consume it and get a complete diet.
So it is a minimally processed thing.
So it is minimally processed thing, and basically their point is fulfilled. Ki we are not harming animals and we are consuming food in such a way that is good for the environment as such. And they get good amount of food, calcium मिल जाता है, iron मिल जाता है. So there's win-win situation for everyone.
So as it's a very similar question to Vashdist, so my question is, where do you get the protein? You said it is, well, protein should be there in your diet, right? You're not having eggs, you're not having milk, you're not having anything except plants.
Not having meat.
Yeah, you're not having meat. So where do you exactly get your protein?
Not eggs also. So you're absolutely true, but then there are, that's what I said, like from the beginning, this is about vegan food and sources, other sources. You have to identify your sources. So pulses are very rich source of protein. So all the pulses like Bengal gram or your chana dal, moong dal, wal, whatever you eat, kidney beans, all beans, they are a very good source of protein, and you can take a good them in a breakfast, in your lunch. You can make different kind of salads from it, and you will have a good amount of protein in your diet. But then you have to be careful. Usually it should be 1 gram per kilogram of your body weight. So like if you are at 20, 25, 30 kg, then your diet should contain at least 30 gram of protein. So you should be consuming that much of protein from this pulses and everything. So pulses is a very good source, and another very good source is our soya, and you can make a lot of items from soya. Soya milk is also there, so that can be sufficient source of protein.
Sir, in foreign countries, people prefer meat due to the cold temperature, right? I've heard that. In India, in a warm state like India, do you think what should be preferred more? And I think you disagree to whatever I say. So, can you just give a brief about what is preferred in India as vegan or non-vegan, what is preferred in foreign places as vegan or non-vegan?
दिल्ली में टेम्परेचर 50 तक जाता है, फिर भी वहाँ पे नॉनवेज खाते हैं. It has nothing to do with the environmental temperature and the cultural differences. The culture is there that they tend to eat non-veg food from the very beginning. Even they are now changing to the vegan diet. And one more thing is, it is not right to say that veganism leads to less amount of protein in your body. There are bodybuilders who are vegan, or bodybuilders tend to take a high amount of protein for their muscle building and the other things. So if taken in adequate in a good balanced meal diet by a good dietitian, you can end up with a good amount of protein and do whatever you want. And cultural differences and the amount of food you take, type of food you take, are two different things. You live in Ahmedabad, you are a vegetarian, non-vegetarian, or what type of meals do you eat? Completely veg. You eat eggs? No. Okay. So you think you have a deficiency of protein? No. Exactly.
True.
Could you give an example of the vegan diet?
Everything which is based on plants. School में आता है पूरा चैप्टर cereals, pulses, soybean.
रोटी खाओ, दाल, सब्जी.
जो मतलब you are vegetarian ना? Exclude milk and milk products. Everything which is less.
Everything is vegan.
It is easier for us to understand, not for the Americans and the cold, because they tend to eat non-veg more. So उनके लिए तो एक ही दो ही चीज़ है कि जो vegetarian. आप वहाँ पे जाओगे तो मॉर्निंग ब्रेकफास्ट में आपको सलाड ही वेजिटेरियन मिलेगा और ब्रेड मिलेगी, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. ब्रेड बटर, और बटर भी कई बार एनिमल बेस्ड बटर होता है.
So that you also have to take in consideration. Butter is also can be a good source of protein and everything. That is a vegan butter is also available.
So I've heard that being a vegan can make your, like, it's very time consuming, or it's like very hard to find products of vegan when you go out, because then you have to tell them to make it, like, specially if you go to a restaurant ki I want my food to be vegan food, because if they add some kind of sauces or something. So could you just tell me ki is it like more expensive to be a vegan generally, or no?
So, your question is valid, I guess, but then I think we don't think like that. It's not very difficult to get, at least in Gujarat or in our part of India, vegan food, because we are usually vegetarian and we can just ask them to avoid milk based products. That is easy. That will not be more costlier. But if you are somewhere outside of our this premises of vegetarian diet kind of thing, then it could be difficult. Like you go to travel to Canada or America, in those parts it can be difficult, slightly difficult. But even if I feel that once they are accustomed to it, it is very easy. Like once you know that okay, from this sources you are going to make the food, but then they have to be sure that okay, this is the way, this is the food which I have to prepare from this diet. So that's easy, that's not very difficult, but they have to be accustomed to it. And I don't think it is much more costlier, or it's not like that. Even what I would say is that even on the Sindhu Bhavan road, right, we have Sindhu Bhavan, that area. So there are vegan restaurants. There are restaurants which serve vegan food. There are restaurants which serve gluten-free food as well. So this is another concept, gluten-free food, and this is a vegan food. So they are serving. I can give you name also if you want to go. It's a very nice food they prepare. So it's a Centespa is the name of restaurant. They prepare a very good vegan food there.
If you are eating, you don't even know that it is
Yeah,
vegan food.
yeah.
It is so tasty कि पता भी नहीं चलेगा.
Sir, you coined the term gluten free. Is it somewhat related to the topic we are discussing, or it's something completely different?
No, gluten free is like it's maybe slightly out of course, but gluten free is the things which are you avoid wheat based things. So that is also a trend nowadays, vegan food and gluten free food. Gluten is you cannot be gluten free and vegan because you cannot eat gehu.
Air.
So there will be nothing to eat.
Nothing to eat.
So there will
Not
be
just
very
live on
less.
air.
Of course, there are many people who are gluten free as well as vegan, and they serve this kind of food also. But then it is very difficult.
Sir, what are the positive results on our human body after eating vegan food?
So as I actually mentioned earlier also, vegan food has a very good amount of fiber. It will help in reducing your weight. It will help in lowering your blood pressure. It may make you slim. If you are a diabetic, there will be good control of sugar. So these are the advantages of vegan food.
It all is connected.
Maybe cardiovascular. So if your blood pressure is low, you are less obese. Cardiovascular disease will also be less.
So you become less obese, the cardiovascular problems decreases, hypertension decreases, diabetes decreases. Even it is proven that vegan food tend to decrease all-cause mortality in young adults as such. There are, you might be hearing कि 30-40 years को heart attack या मर गया, मतलब recent many of the celebrities we are lost in such a way.
Yeah.
So it is proven in a way that all-cause mortality decreases with vegan food, but I don't know, it's questionable. I have not proved it. So it tends to normalize the body metabolism, how the body works. Overwork के वजह से cholesterol increases, the blood pressure increases, diabetes becomes haywire. So by vegan food, we avoid the excess of food which we take.
So could you list some of the health problems which are caused by vegan food, like some of the diseases which have increased because of vegan food?
Deficiency diseases might increase.
Like vitamin deficiency may increase. You may have a mere fracture if you have less calcium or vitamin D in your diet. So maybe, but it is not proven. Nothing like that. You can have a protein energy malnutrition as well. If you don't take enough amount of protein, if you take less amount of iodine, you may have a goiter or you may have a enlargement of thyroid gland. So this can be there if you don't supplement it with the proper diet. If you supplement it with the other diet, then there will be no problem.
If you are intelligent enough to eat vegan food, you are intelligent enough
to
to know the
supplement
side
it with
effects of vegan food, and you take in such a way.
Yeah.
So it is much less prevalent.
So yeah, these were the questions from our side. Thank you so much for giving your precious time in for us and for the audience as well. I think the audience learned a lot about vegan and non-vegan and how to set a particular diet. So yeah, thank you very much. And for more videos like this, please like, share and subscribe this video at our channel. Thank you.